Oh, no. Yep. What are you laughing at? I'm being super serious right now, babe. This is my career. Do you want to smoke? Okay, great. Manic episodes, episode 1. I want to kind of preface, I think, for anyone that might not know me or what I'm all about. This show is perfect for you if you want Luigi Mangione out of prison, if you smoke weed practically daily, even though you can't afford to cope with the state of the world. If you are an artist, artists love me. If you love beautiful trans women with gorgeous, sexy, sultry, annoying voices, I'm the girl for you. This is the podcast for you. I exist for your pleasure. This is for anyone that has ever wanted to have sex with me, for anyone that's ever wanted more access to me. Um, and I guess I should tell you a little bit about me before I brag so much about how amazing and gorgeous and talented and stunning and iconic I am. My name is Chiquitita. I am 26 years old as of April 1st. Yes, it is April 1st. I said in my podcast. I said my podcast was going to come out April 1st, and I lied. That was a lie. But it also, baby, where are you going? We're going to smoke. Yeah, I'm doing this, but don't worry. They're my cucks.
But
That's my
seriously, it's
boyfriend.
gonna have
Baby,
like
please, baby, please. I want the lighter. I know what I'm going to say. Just give me the lighter, please. This is my moment,
It is.
baby.
It's always
Thank
your moment,
you.
right?
Thank you. Thank you. Manic episodes is for everyone that was diagnosed with ADD or autism in their adulthood. Manic episodes is for the girls that in in their God-given right are withholding rent. Manic episodes is for anybody that's ever grieved. Whatever that might look like. Because if you don't feel this might not be your podcast. I have a lot of feelings. A lot of things happen all the time, every day. And honestly, because I'm not in therapy, I don't really have an outlet for that yet. So, this will do. Manic episodes is for the girl that copes with sex and drugs. On a serious note, I do want to extend my gratitude to everyone that is listening right now and that has been looking forward to this project because I've been talking about this project for a few months. There's a number of projects that I'm constantly thinking about that are constantly whirling around in there. And it always kind of feels like I don't have any time to get them done, but that just can't be true because this life is so long, right? It doesn't stop. It does not stop as much as you fucking try. It just doesn't fucking stop. And every day you wake up and you're like, what's gonna happen today? Is today gonna be a good day? I don't know because I host am manically depressed. I don't know if I like that. But I am severely depressed.
You're manic and depressed.
I'm manic and depressed and a lot of other things. And that's cool and that's fine. And I don't want to hide that side of me because that side of me is very real, though I am looking into therapists. And I have had a therapist in the past, but she was cis. And so we just didn't really see. We just didn't really know each other there was no way we were ever going to get to that level, right? Like cis on T trans relationships are much different than cis on than trans on trans. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. So I'm looking for a trans therapist right now. Is what I'm trying to get at. If you're watching on Patreon, hello. I can't believe you're here. This feels surreal to me. I don't even know what it means. I don't know what any of this means. But I just wanted to say thank you. I just wanted to come on here and say thank you for sticking around with Chiquitita for as long as I've been doing my shit, even the Harajuku days. And if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, then you're going to learn all about my past and my history and how iconic all of it is on this podcast, where I will be bringing in all kinds of people from queer life that I find inspirational, that I find entertaining, that I find genuine, and people that I do want to actually share space with. So this first season is going to roll out a little slowly to start. As of right now, I'm committing to one episode a month only because I have so much going on right now. But I want you all to know that I do have the episodes recorded. I just have to edit. I'm trying to always learn from my mistakes, and you'll get to hear all about that right here on Manic Episodes, and you'll get to learn about how I landed where I've landed, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, there's a lot that people know about me, but there's so much more that people don't know about me. I know that sounds so fucking stupid, but this podcast is going to be really fun. I'm really excited. We've had some really amazing laughs and guests so far, and it's just the beginning. And those aren't even the famous ones. The ones that we've recorded with aren't even the famous ones. So we're going to get some famous people on here too. But, you know, the not famous, struggling queer artists also need their camera time. And I'm here as a struggling queer artist. I'm here to give it to them. So anyway, I love you. Bye. Enjoy. Anthony, before we move on, is there anything that you would like to confess to me about or like complain about?
No.
Nothing.
All will be revealed as we.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm interviewing you, right?
Let's get into
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
We met in May, and I officially moved in August, and that's when we started to actually live together.
Yes, because I had the month without anyone,
Yeah.
and so I've been doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing work in Amira's room, who now you're really good friends with, and she thinks you're adorable as shit. So, like, yeah, everyone's just, like, having a good old time together without me when I'm out of town.
Always when you're out of town. Somehow.
Always when I'm out of town, my boyfriend links up, my ex-roommate links up, my current bitch-ass roommate links up. And I don't understand why you guys wait until I'm gone. It's weird. But yeah, it was fun. And then you came in, ambushed the place, started inviting multiple men over at a time.
That is not true.
Door swung wide open. Wide open. We were running out of tap water because you were using all of it to clean your asshole.
You know what's really funny is that I actually don't ever really bring
You don't
other
douche?
guys here.
Oh.
I really don't. Somehow, like...
No, you brought a few. Do you know their names?
redacted.
Well, do you know the name of the most recent one?
course.
I liked him.
Yeah, but
You don't want to say it.
I'm not going to name drop people.
Can I give them different names?
This is an interview about you.
Okay. Well, then ask me something. Sorry.
Okay, well, you mentioned earlier about you going out more and socializing.
Yes.
Well, I remember the first time, let's talk about the first time we, left, I got you out of the house.
First time Anthony got me out of the house, we went to the Museum of Moving Image, which I hadn't been to since I was a teenager because I am from Queens and we would go on trips to places. And I loved that museum because I remember there being this, like, remember when we saw all the, like special effects kind of stuff or whatever?
Yeah, The Exorcist, remember that was...
Yeah, like around that area, they had this other room that was, it was either like recreations of like vintage looks, or it was those vintage looks archived and like shown, and I loved it. It was so beautiful. It was all like big and like feathers and like diamonds and like, it was just gorgeous. And then they had this Mad Men room.
Yeah, you told me about that. I wish I would have gone for that. Have you watched Mad Men?
I like Mad Men.
It's incredible. Anyway, but yeah, I'm sad I missed that.
Yeah, I like Mad Men, but the Don Draper like moving to LA thing, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care about LA.
And he's like a cheater. He's like a nasty. He's literally everything that I hate. Loved Peggy.
Yeah.
Loved the redhead in that show.
Pink.
Love Pink. What was the name of the redhead in that show? Do you remember?
Joan.
Joan. Oh, such a bitch name too. Joan.
But yeah, that was a journey. We went. We had pictures from that. It was a cute day. I found that as we were scrolling last night.
That was one of the first journeys you took me on, and then another one that we went on was you had to go get tested in the city at Mount Sinai.
Oh, yes.
And
Let's normalize that. Like, bring your friend to get
how did
tested.
that go, by the way?
Everything's crystal clear.
Clear.
I'm clear.
Me, on the other hand,
Hey, we've all been there.
yeah. You don't want to ask me about my gonorrhea? That's weird.
Sure.
What do you want to know?
What were your symptoms?
Oh, itchy throat, coffee, mucus, lots. Have you ever had an STI? Yeah.
Of course.
Oh!
I mean, we all have, literally. STIs are ageless. Don't you see the ads with, like...
The babies?
No. They have, like, the older people with, like...
Syphilis.
STI ads now.
Oh, yeah,
Anyone can get an
Get
STI.
tested.
Yes.
And yes, get tested, because
Totally.
literally nothing is worse than having to contact the dozens of people that you have had sex with to tell them that you have infected them, right?
I mean, DoxyPep is
DoxyPep.
great.
It's
I was feeling a little ill before this because I had to take some...
by ill, do you mean you had to take a shit?
No, I just felt really nauseous. Get tested.
Yeah, it's between, it's a 24-hour to 72-hour period.
Yeah.
And
It has to be within that time period.
It has
also
to be.
take PrEP, and if condoms are still available, if that's your thing.
Oh!
I don't know.
We were talking about that. You hate.
I didn't dare hate it. I just don't use them.
Do you like them?
I mean,
Do you have beef? Where
this
does
is your interview. Okay.
Ah!
All right. Let's go back to. Okay, we went to MoMA, and I want to talk about your going out.
We didn't go to MoMA.
Sorry. An image.
Him saying this is your interview.
That never happened.
Anyway.
Okay. What's next?
I want to talk about your nightlife. Okay, so the second big thing that we did was we went to Creatures of the Night, which was Juliana Huxtable's party at
Had such a good
Parkside
time.
Lounge, and it's kind of like a goth sort of
Yeah.
vibe.
Which you said you used to go to raves upstate that were kind of also gothy, right?
There was this bar that had an 80s night. It's called Cabalusas. It's no longer there. I grew up in New Paltz, upstate, and Thursday night was 80s night, and it was very goth and very queer. So that was sort of my entry point into my queer identity. It was through goth culture.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So
That's so cute.
it's kind of like a shared language. I feel because there is a sort of
Well, goth people are all gay. Or
I don't know.
fingers in the
I don't
butts.
really like to generalize too much, but
At least
I say a lot of them
fingers
are.
in the butts. At least.
But yeah, I mean, there's a dressing up element. There's it's pretty queer.
I feel like a lot of people in New York, transplants, go out to clubs and bars, and it's all about the look and the show, right? And who's gonna be there, or you considering yourself a spectacle, being there, and hoping that people take notice. We all like attention, right?
Yeah.
But specifically at that party that we went to, Juliana's, and then also this last one that we went to.
Well, we went to Bossa one night recently, and then
I liked Bossa, but I loved Basement because I love the idea of people not. I'd rather be in a space where people don't care about what they're wearing, and so when you talk about the crossover between goth people or music and queer culture or whatever, and you think about all the people wearing black, it's everyone's just wearing black clothes and clothes that they don't worry about getting dirty or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I prefer that vibe for dancing than being surrounded by people that may or may not, I mean, more than likely know me, you know what I mean? Or so I've been trying to get more comfortable taking up space and being naked outside of my drag spaces. Yeah. Which is new for me.
So what's interesting about Basement is I actually took a year off from going last year because I just felt it just felt that was your first time, but I think if you spend enough time there, it has a lot of dark energy that
it does. Didn't somebody die there?
I don't know, girl. When?
Somebody died somewhere.
know. People die, I guess.
Died everywhere.
No, I remember now. Ew. Somebody told. Oh my god, I remember now the story, but I'm not gonna repeat it. It's really dark. It's really dark.
I think you're thinking about something else that someone told us.
Yeah.
That wasn't basement.
That wasn't at basement, but it could have been.
It was not. It was not in this country.
Not even. It was in Berlin. You're right. I just remembered.
Yes, it was the guy.
Right.
Yes.
Anon.
Oh gosh.
Anon. No, he wasn't Anon, but we met over the weekend. And you got naked. I was like, I was very
naked.
proud when you told me that.
Which everyone was like so surprised by. I'm like, have you never seen?
Well,
I'm always naked.
Also, the night that you went was like a Georgian night, so it's a lot of like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so like, I think it was a special kind of.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It was there. Lots of Georgians. Stinky breath. I don't want to say that all Georgians have stinky breath.
Cut that out. No, I'm just kidding.
All Georgians have stinky breath. No, but like, yeah, they were getting me tight a little bit. There was this one that kept following me around, and I literally had to be like, bro, go away. Basta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like,
But I've been dipping my toes back in too, so I'm actually gonna go this Saturday. If you wanna come?
yeah, you didn't invite me.
I have a podcast as well called Afters, and the last episode was with Manamida, and he's playing Saturday. So
Who is deaf
yes,
and talks all about their experience in music with dancing and DJing on your
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah,
The whole season out, right?
yeah. I just finished the first season.
Would that take like a year?
Yeah, 10 episodes in a year.
Are you doing one a month basically?
That
Or
was
were
the goal in
you?
the beginning, but I had basically towards the end I've done everything: recording, editing, mastering. So
Right.
like, once I got to that point, it was easier to just get it out myself because I just hate waiting for people or getting
I hate people.
roadblocks. So like that's what's great about you doing this because you're literally editing it.
I'm doing all of it.
Yeah, I don't have video on mine, which I'm playing around with, but
Maybe
You
next
do.
year.
I mean, I recorded a live on Twitch with my friend Harry Bauer, which will be season 2. But
Oh, you already did it.
yeah, I went to his house to record, and he's just like, "Do you want to go live?" And I'm like, "Okay." So that was like kind of interesting because I was
He's like, do you
reading
want to
the
have
chat.
sex? And I was like, yeah.
No.
Did you?
No, he's straight.
Sorry.
We're good friends.
Right, this is your straight friend.
Okay.
Can we smoke? It's the half mark.
No, you need a little bit more time.
No, we
before
haven't really gotten to anything yet.
Okay.
Don't worry, you can do it. You can do it.
I can do it.
I think what we.
One of our producers said that you make music for gays. I do.
Oh, Azalea. Wait, I wanna.
Yeah, but you don't make music specifically for gays. I guess. I love that. Yeah.
So back to what we were just saying about Basement. She posted on Blue Sky, not X.
It's in Queens, yeah. I do still call it a tweet though.
Okay, so this tweet. I'm gonna try to read it in your voice.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Transphobia
no.
coming
Shut up.
through.
Okay, so she said, I went to Basement for the first time last night entirely naked, and let me just say, as the only person actually from Queens in that fucking bitch, I gladly took up every inch of that space. I feel like a dom every time I enter any space in New York because inherently, all transplants are my bitches.
It's true.
Tell us more.
Well, I don't know, I guess. So, around this time last year is when I kind of started rewiring my relationship to New York because over the last 10 years, my main priority was not like focusing on myself or like my relationship with New York. In fact, it was more about like creating space and like, you know, cultivating culture in Brooklyn nightlife, drag spaces specifically. And so anytime I left the house, I don't know, I just felt like really uncomfortable because I'm surrounded by people that like aren't from New York, and I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, where like everyone is black and brown, and literally the only white people in my neighborhood at the time was one Portuguese family. That's it. And so like now living in Brooklyn and seeing a similar thing, of course, as like in Jamaica, like I think my energy, what it became was guarded or like worried about being judged by like people that aren't, like we didn't even share space growing up. You know what I mean? Like why do I care about what you think about me? And so I'm like trying to reclaim every inch of the city and remind myself that like this concrete is mine entirely. You know what I mean? Like the shitty train system is mine. Like when I walk around at night in the dark, it's mine. Like it's all mine. It's all only ever been my experience. That's all I've ever known, and I don't want to be scared anymore about like people's perceptions of me or like me feeling like I'm too much. You know? And so like yeah, me getting naked at Basement is like an extension of that for anyone that might be moving to New York for college that's there using their fucking NYU IDs to get into the club. And I'm like, I'm literally the reason that you people move here, and as long as you're, you know, respectful and like also bringing something to the culture and not only like taking things in, then it's like we're cool. You know what I mean? You get it. Like do your part. We all have our part to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely, similar for me, like even in like the rave, like the music heavy scene, it's just like so many people that want to take
Yeah.
and never contribute or like help build the culture or whatever. It's I definitely have that experience too. It's people, whether it's like social climbing or like I don't know, I see a lot of that stuff too. So
There's a lot of greed, and I get it. It's so much easier to focus on all of the good things that can happen for you when you come here. But there's also so many people here that predate you and that are affected by also like you being here specifically, that like don't even feel like it's ours anymore. And so that's like my work, right, in my head, is like trying to get that power back and be like, actually, if anyone has a right, it's actually me. I don't know what the ratio is between like native New Yorkers and not, but if the ratio is like 1 to 1,000, then my work is important. You know what I mean? And like if it makes people uncomfortable or if it makes people want to look away or move, okay, I don't give a fuck. Like that doesn't have anything to do with me, you know?
But it's also that thing of like, you know, with gentrifiers like moving into an area, like I don't know, I've heard stories of like, I don't know, couples with a baby moving into a building in Bushwick.
Oh my god, literally just happened this week on this block.
Is that the U-Haul that's outside?
I asked, and they said that's actually not us.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh.
But it's like moving into a space and then feeling like, oh, you're entitled to just like, you know, it's like you have to be aware of like where you're living. And,
of course.
You know.
And like recognize that the building that you live in right now probably was a different building that was teared down specifically to make space for you to rent, to make everybody else's rent more expensive in the neighborhood. Like, it's just what happens. And I think like acknowledging that is the first step. And like it's cool, it's fine, like there's really not a lot we can do to change that, but like the way in which we are in the spaces and like acknowledging the people that have been, again, predate us, like is very important. I mean, there's a lot of old people that live on this block, you know what I mean, that I see, and I'm like, I wonder if they have the same rent as me, or like I hope that they don't have to worry about that, because they've been here longer than all of us, you know.
And you do a good job about whenever we're walking in the street, you say hi to people, and I think that's just great. Like, you know, it just makes people feel seen and like acknowledged.
And I also feel like anytime, like I used to get really annoyed, like whenever you like hear a car go by and it's like so fucking loud. You know what I mean? Or like
the music or the car itself, or both?
Both, but like the music, right? And thinking to myself, Queen. And thinking to myself, like, God, that's so annoying. I like wish they would turn that off. And I think in this rewiring of my brain, I'm like, oh, they're just doing the same thing that I'm doing, actually. And like reminding themselves and the people around that this space is theirs, actually, right? And so it could be annoying and it could be an inconvenience to me and like me feeling, you know, at peace for a moment, but like if that's what they need to do to feel secure, then fucking do it. I get it.
It's funny, my first apartment in Bushwick, I was there for 13 years, and the cars would drive by and it would always sound all the alarms. So that was kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie.
For the cars?
Yeah, I'm like, can't
no,
watch
I know.
a movie, but
Bushwick particularly is like so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I hate Bushwick. After COVID, too, all the garbage.
Seriously,
in
I had to
Bushwick,
leave. I moved out of Bushwick because it's just too much garbage, and the rats just like tripled in size.
Ugh.
I wanted to talk about. Well, we talked about this earlier about your drag career and how I really
My very
didn't
long-
know you at all during that time.
Long and iconic drag career that you
Yeah.
have no idea about.
Yeah, but like.
Could you
were
believe
basic-
that? Could you believe that?
Surprised.
Yeah.
You basically quit like before I moved in, so like kind of
Yes.
how long were you thinking about doing that, or like what brought you to quit drag?
I had been thinking about quitting drag since about 2021.
So that was how many years into your
About 6 years into my drag, maybe, because I started doing drag in like 2014, and then seriously started doing it around 2016, and then getting into like the Manhattan scene, and then coming to Brooklyn. So after COVID in 2020, I came back and I was able to put on some really successful shows, like the Chromatica tribute show, and I got that tattooed on me because it gave me a lot of money. Like after that, I made like thousands of fucking dollars off of that just because faggots wanted to listen to that album in its entirety. And the Veneno tribute show also was really lucrative for me.
I really wish I saw that one. I think you got on my radar around that time, but
Yeah.
like it was a short run, right? It wasn't a lot of shows.
We did a few.
But I remember it was when I found out, because I loved the show. Obviously,
Yeah,
incredible.
It's life changing.
But it was like sold out, and then I think you were done. So.
Yeah, after that, I had some other ideas for shows that I did, but kind of throughout that entire time, and I knew it was a result of my depression. I didn't know yet that it was also a result of like my lack of passion in drag. And so every time the date would come, I have already done all this work about like promo and getting the cast. I literally would do all of that, girl. I did
The flyers, we were looking at flyers.
I
last
did the
night.
flyers. Yeah, I would do the flyers. I did the casting. I did the MC. I would perform.
Outfits.
I would sew. I did my hair. Like, I did all of this for the one show that I would do every month that would hopefully be lucrative enough for me to be able to like pay my rent. I just found myself getting really tired and not feeling passionate anymore. And I knew that that was happening when I would be like behind the door right before a DJ would announce that the host is finally coming up to the stage. And I remember like not feeling those butterflies anymore and being like, I think this is a sign that like something is changing, right?
And you were only doing one show a month at that point?
I was doing my own show once a month, but I would have other shows throughout the month that people would book me at.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love performing so much. I think more than performing though, I love creating space and just having people that have been disowned or like don't know what love feels like or like community feels like just feel it for a little bit. So I still have that power. I can just do it somewhere else, like here.
Yeah.
You know? Or like anywhere. I can do it anywhere.
Was there any part of doing drag that was the most tiring? Was it like
Performing.
like the hours or anything, or like just even getting ready?
Performing.
Just performing. Okay.
Performing and waiting. Like performing, and then if you had another gig that night, let's say like I was at the Rosemont and then Metro, the like hours in between where you're like, fuck, like do I eat? Like I can't really eat because I'm gonna shit myself. If I do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't eat anything heavy and then go, you probably had like corsets or tight things.
Yeah.
Do you think that COVID had any part of also burning you out a bit? Like, just...
I'm really happy it happened.
Mm.
Because if it didn't happen, I might have just done drag until I was in my 30s. Like everybody else, you know what I mean? And like not know why I was unhappy or what else could have come. And I'm always, because of my ADD, I'm always like, I need to see what else I can make happen or what else I can get really good at. Mm-hmm. And that way I liken myself to Leonardo da Vinci. I know that that's insane, but I totally see myself as Leonardo da Vinci.
I can't even imagine like what this space was like while you were making things. I mean, it must
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so bad. You get a glimpse of it though. You've seen me like work on some cosplays since you've moved in and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets like that. It gets bad, especially if there's like sequins involved. Yeah.
But it's been cool to see the space evolve. We've definitely like we've definitely worked to get focused.
Sorry.
She's trying to get some weed rolled.
I have my priorities straight.
Yeah.
We've collabed a lot on the space. And it's really nice and also very vulnerable because, again, I don't like being told what to do. Like, if I leave a mess, and sometimes I do leave a mess. And sometimes you leave a mess too.
I know, yeah.
Like the other night. You left your fries on that table all night. And you know we've had mice in the past. And you left your fries right there.
Were you sitting there?
No, but every time I came down and walked to the kitchen...
Were you eating
I'd go,
and I left fries for you?
I'd be like, oh, the fries are still there. It's 9 a.m. Can't believe the fries are still there.
You mentioned cosplaying before.
Oh,
and
God.
We went to Comic-Con together in, what was it, September, October?
We went to Comic-Con together. This was so long before you left the fries on the table. Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That happened months before that happened. Yeah, like September. It was fun. You went as...
Monster Eliza's you from The Substance.
Uh-huh. And then I was an Avatar because everybody loves Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blue, and, you know, people wonder, like, oh, or, like, is her pussy blue?
You should tell the story about the guy.
Oh, yeah, there was this guy that was like, oh, my God, I love your shoes. Can I get a picture of your shoes? And I was like, you mean my feet?
Because you were in Pleasers.
Yeah, I was in Pleasers. My toes were just out. And he's like, oh, no, I just really like those shoes. And I'm like, I'm kind of like eating a hot dog right now. He's like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah,
can I
you
get
were
a
literally
picture?
sitting on the ground eating
I was
a
sitting
hot
on the
dog.
ground. I was like crisscross applesauce, bitch.
You should tell how we both got a tip.
Oh, we both got $20. We each got $20.
Yeah, you were like, I don't even know how. He just handed me 20. I'm like, okay.
He was like, can I just get a picture of you two? And I was like, fine. He was taking forever to change his camera lens. Yeah. I'm like, this person is so fucking annoying. By the time I finished my hot dog, he was ready, and we snapped a picture, and he was like, oh, thank you so much. I was like, yeah, no problem. I was like, do we get a tip? He was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, for both of us. And then he gave me his money, and then he gave you his money.
Yeah, no, thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm all about hustling and bustling.
Remember, we took so long to get ready, and then we literally had like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours left of the entire Comic-Con that day.
Yeah.
And we got off the train, and I was like,
We left
the pass.
We left the
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, the gonorrhea. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we forgot about the passes, but I was like, we're gonna get
finessed
in.
it.
Yeah. I kind of just like begged, and they let us in.
Yeah, they had no choice. We looked so cute.
Yeah.
I looked so cute.
You did. I look kind of ragged, but it's fine.
You looked so crazy. We should put a picture in.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with, like, attention from nerds now.
Mm-hmm. Because you went to MagFest, you were saying?
Yeah, I went to Super MagFest. It's the biggest, like, music/video gaming convention in America.
Would you go back?
I would 100% go. I suck dick in the bathroom, girl.
I don't think you ever told me that.
Girl, I got a video of it. It's on my OnlyFans.
Put that in.
Yeah.
Put the barcode in that scene.
No, I literally sucked this guy's dick in the bathroom, and he was really nice. I met him he was like playing, because it's like an entire arcade festival, so there's one giant room that's for like, handheld games, like, like GameCube or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that's about like the arcade games, like the big ones, right? And so he was like at his thing or whatever. And I am a whore. And was just walking around looking for work.
Sniffing around.
Yeah, I was like, what's around here, girl? And yeah, I just like went up to him and I was like, hey. I was like, can I play with you? And he was like, yeah, and I'm like...
Was he like not looking at you and just like, yeah, sure?
No. He knew that I was pretty and that I was... You know what I mean? And then
because you were wearing the Morgana, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My Morrigan.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Thank you. And then at the end of it, I was like, we like finished and I was like, so like, what are you doing or whatever? And he was like, oh, nothing. Like I, have a shift. Like he like was working at the merch table or whatever. I was like, oh, like, do you want me to suck your dick? And he was like, where? I was like, we can go to like the family bathroom.
The family bathroom.
Yeah, I was like, it's super private. He's like, yeah, sure. Like, what? I was like, would you record it though? And he was like, oh yeah. Like, I used to make content all the time. Whatever. I was like, perfect.
We met that Spider-Man. Remember they make.
Yeah,
they make content.
Oh, they're horny. I know. That's
and
what
the girl that was Rogue. Remember her?
They're all horny, girl. I'm telling you. I think that's why I felt so like at peace. Is because I'm like, you see me.
And everyone's sort of kind of doing drag. Cosplay is sort of drag, right?
Yeah, it's entirely drag. Yeah, it was hot. What about you? Have you ever hooked up with anyone?
Ever?
Ever?
No, never. I'm
Don't say you're celibate, girl.
I'm celibate.
That is such a line that you do. You're not celibate, though. Why don't you want to tell people about your life?
I mean, you asked me a question.
It's a very big part of your life.
I mean, I'm not celibate, obviously. I met someone at Faggots or Women who left
12 hours ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
He was here for a week. No, he wasn't.
So, yeah.
He was a nice guy, too. He was from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about him. Why did you keep him here for so long?
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's very sweet, funny, like, good sex. Nice, good cuddler.
What was so good about the sex?
We just, like, never really stopped, honestly.
Period.
Yeah.
Did it hurt? No.
No.
You know, sometimes it hurts.
Yeah, well, we were both first, so.
Oh, right. Oh, that's great. That's great. He didn't take me. I didn't take him as a verse. He didn't take me. I didn't take him as verse.
It was, we're definitely giving shows at Faggots or Women.
Did he have a little tiny ass?
A tiny ass?
Was it little?
I mean, it was a nice little butt.
It was little, right? I feel like, because cis guys have the tiniest little ass in the world. Super tiny. Like, one of my clients, I was like, yeah, like, you can use my roommate's bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. And so he goes to your bathroom, and I'm looking, and I swear to God, it was the Hank Hill meme.
Oh, no.
That little tiny little ass. It's like a potato, it's like a chip. It's like a corn chip.
And it's like a little slit for the butt.
A little tiny little thing. And he was like, yeah, like, I feel like my ass isn't small, it's just that, you know, like, I used to, like, bodybuild, and so my top is really heavy. And I'm like, yeah, and your ass is small.
You should do squats.
Right. Right. Oh, you met my dad. You have,
yes, I was going to talk about that, actually.
You have a little bit of a gay romance with my father.
I do, or he does?
Well, you do. I mean, well, my dad wants to see you naked. For sure. Because my dad actually, like, was admitting to us that he's had some queer experiences in the past, not to spill his tea, but whatever, he abandoned me when I was a child.
You should start where the first night that we met, when I had blonde hair.
Oh, right. So Anthony used to have blonde hair. Blonde hair up here, right? In his little bangs. And my dad loved it so much that he was like, wow, like, I really like that hair. It's nice. Yeah, I want to do that. You think I can do that? You think I would look nice with that? And I was like, Papi, yeah. I was like, I can do it right now. I have everything that, you know, I was like, I have everything we need to doll you up. Like, let's do it. He was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And so I dyed his little hair. It's blonde up here, and he loved it. And then he, like, took a picture, for me the next day. He was like, oh, yeah, like, my wife didn't really like it, but, like, she's into it now or whatever.
Wait, was that, like, the catalyst for everything that happened after?
Ooh,
that's a
good question, because my dad and her are now separate, actually. So that might have been the beginning of the end.
I mean, he left here with a leather jacket the other day.
Look,
I've
been queering him up.
You have.
But it's because he already is queer, though. That's the thing. It's like, you know, he has this thing in him that needs to be
pounded.
Sucked. Yeah, and pounded. Ew.
But yeah, so we were here the other day because your cousin was in town from El Salvador.
Gay cousin.
Your gay cousin.
Eduardo, yes, I love him. He's really sweet.
Yeah.
And my dad was here, and Eduardo had never had champagne before. Mm-hmm. And my dad was telling us all about his endeavors, and he was like, and then I looked down, and all of a sudden, like, his ass was on me, and I'm like, yeah, all of a sudden. Yeah, because everything happens so suddenly.
Well, the whole story was funny because he was like, "Yeah, I was driving," and then
He's like, I had these blue balls. He's like, my balls were so blue. Like, I want to have my dad on the podcast. I think people would
that would be kind
gag. You and him. Because then they would see the way that my dad is obsessed with you. The way that he was like, when you were like putting your laundry away and he was just like this at the door, like like looking at you, doing your thing. I was like, puppy, you're dirty. Would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't do it? You would do it!
No.
You would totally do
Do not put that on me, no.
it! Okay. Well, he's only like 15 years older than you.
That'd be weird, and
Is it-
I'm
is it?
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to have sex with my dad. That's fine. I do think it would be really nice, though, for him.
Oh my god. Do you have another gay friend?
No! I don't. They all live in Mexico now. Bitch.
Which is where we're going next, right?
Yes. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Because we can't tell them too much,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, America is dead. And I think also, like, America dying has come at a really annoying time because I just came up with this idea to do this podcast. And now...
Take it global.
Oh, mundial.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
But yeah, so your gay cousin was also visiting, and you kind of scared him.
No, I didn't scare him. He's just timid, and he's very, like, de la pena, you know? He gets really
I mean, we were going to
shy.
take him to OTA, we were going to take him to Faggots Are Women, we were
Open
going
to
to take
all,
him to,
yeah.
like,
All
all the
nights.
gay bars.
Yeah, OTA is like a voguing ballroom
Yeah.
night here in Brooklyn at $3 bill that they do every Monday.
Every Monday.
And Faggots Are Women is a rave that I was going to take him to. And he was like, yeah, let's go. But I think once the time actually came, he was like, I can't actually
Yeah.
do any of this. And I understand that.
He's like a homebody, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because I was just like, did you scare him?
No, I wish
Yeah.
I could take the credit for that, but I really can't.
Yeah.
My dad also suffers from mania and made a manic decision to take us to Virginia.
Hours before, it was like maybe 2 a.m. and it was decided that 6 a.m. the next day, y'all were gonna go.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I'm going to come back at 6 a.m. I'm going to pick you up. We're going to drive to
I was
Virginia.
like-
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? We
Girl,
don't-
you were on board and you were trying
I
to
was
get me
on
to come
board.
with you, and I was like,
I instantly got on board. Instantly.
I had to like weasel my way out of going. But yeah, then y'all.
But you wanted to come so bad.
You were gone for like almost 3 days. I had to get my schedule in order, and I
I
did.
know.
so.
And I respect and appreciate you knowing yourself.
Yes, it was nice to have some quiet and peace in this house. I'm just kidding.
I never feel that way when you're home. Like it's peaceful or quiet because there's always pounding going on from your bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
No, but yeah, my dad manically was like, let's go to Virginia. Your cousin's pregnant. Let's go congratulate her. And I was like,
funny, and that's the only reason why
Okay.
you wanted to go, because you wanted the tea.
yeah, I was like, we need to go and say hi to her and Chance, the baby father, and just see when they conceive this baby. And it was in El Salvador when we were all together in El Salvador because we all took a trip together in December. That's where they conceived the baby. Which
Oh,
is-
really?
Yes.
You did the timing?
Al Hotel
wait.
Alicante.
Okay, I was gonna say, because y'all were in the same house.
Alicante. But no, Hotel Alicante was a hotel that we went to, and I remember the first night we got there at like 6 p.m. We're like, we're gonna go out a little later, and me and Damien were like, we should have sex right now because, fuck, we like have not had sex in like a week at that point. And so we're having sex, and I'm like, I wonder if they can hear us. And then I was like, I can't hear them if they are. And then at night, I didn't hear them either. And then so I'm like, when did you guys quietly have this quiet child? Like, y'all don't pound it out, girl. You know?
Yeah. Wait, and then you went right to Damien's house. Were you sexless there too?
When?
After El Salvador, you went to.
I went straight to his house?
You went to Florida.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we had sex there either. His mom is manic. Definitely.
You should get her on the pod.
Oh my god, I don't know if I really do like her. I really do. But there are just some patterns that have followed her that are now leaking into my man's life, and we're beating him out of him.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we were looking at your archives.
You did.
A lot of photography. Really, really good photography.
Oh my god, you did look at all those pictures.
You don't have to say what
What?
the end product is going to be, but like, tell me about like some of that, because you really got some beautiful behind the scenes moments, like really good candid pictures.
Yes, so in 2021, I believe, I got my first point and shoot, like a 35 millimeter film camera, and yeah, I started...
Those were all point and shoot?
Mhm.
Like film?
Mm-hmm. They were all film. And yeah, I just... I get a specific view of the drag room because I'm like the one that's like creating a space usually, or like if I'm being invited to perform, like people are comfortable with me in the room enough for me to like take a picture, ask if I could take a picture, and then have them in these specific settings or feeling safer than they would if I was another photographer.
Yeah, like the guy at Red Eye, sort of.
Oh my god, yeah, there was this fucking guy at this bar, Red Eye, that... Oh my god, girl, can I tell the story?
Yeah.
This guy at Red Eye, this photographer, it was the night that me, Willow Pill, Miss Mamshi, and Serena T, yeah, we're all working there. And he comes into the green room between the first and the second set, and he's like taking pictures, and I'm like taking my clothes off, and I turn to him, and I'm like, we're gonna be ready in like 5 minutes, like we're just gonna change right now. And he's like, okay. I was like, do you mind like stepping outside maybe for a little bit, just because we're all like getting naked? And he was like, no. And I was like, you're not gonna go outside after one of the performers asked you to go outside? And he was like, no. And I literally turned to Miss, because Mamshi had heard, and she was like, what the fuck? And then so she like turns over to Willow and Willow's assistant, and is like, this guy is like really getting under our nerves right now. And then they start barking at him, and he's like, he starts barking at me, being like, oh, you just think that you're hot shit because you're performing with a girl from Drag Race or whatever. I literally was like, that's what's on your mind, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. Right now you're pissing me off, and I just want you to leave. And
It's just creepy. It's like...
it's creepy, and it's invasive.
Yeah.
And so finally, Willow's assistant was like, okay, I'm gonna go get security, obviously, because like, dude, leave. And so he's like, fine, go get security, whatever, like I work here, like blah blah blah. And then the security comes in, he's like, you gotta go. And then they got him out.
anyone think it's okay to be in a dressing room and photographing people? Like,
Because he's trying to get the BTS. He's trying to do like, quote unquote, like what I do, right? Of like seeing the queens in an intimate setting. But like, this is clearly not the time for that, and you're not the person for the job either.
Not the person for the job, and also just like, there was no conversation about it beforehand either. Like,
I forgot what the fuck his name was, but he takes all those pictures at like $3 bill, and like, he's like an older white guy. He has a little bit of a droopy eye. He's like bald.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
like,
my photography.
yeah, but like you said, you're the person that should be doing that, or someone like you
Could.
So yeah, a lot of beautiful shots.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of drag. It's a lot of like the looks that make me go, oh my god, or like performances that make me go, oh my god, or yeah, just like situational like moments, or just like silly like stuff, and also some really gorgeous shots where I'm like, oh, I shot that. That looks really nice, actually, and I want to like compile them and create something out of them. But
what are the years between what years? Like
21 and current day, and yeah, ever going, ever moving. Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about painting. You're doing a lot of large scale paintings.
I'm doing very large scale paintings. I'm working on a series right now that is going to be all 30 by 40 inch.
And you're stretching the what is it? I can't think
The canvas.
The canvas yourself.
Yeah, I'm stretching the canvas.
And hammering the frames.
Yeah, I'm drilling the oil to help me make the acrylic paint and doing all of that.
Fracking.
Yeah, I'm fracking. Painting was one of my first artistic loves before drag. I always kind of had like little artsy hands. Like when I was a kid, I used to like mix all of my mom's like lotions and perfumes, or like little things to see if they would like make a potion or something. And
did she appreciate that or not?
She didn't even know.
No.
Or if she did, she wouldn't say anything. I mean, what do you even say to that?
Yeah.
And after that, I like got into drawing, and then in high school, I was accepted into a painting program for at Cooper Union in Astor Place for a summer, and yeah, it was all because of like the work that I had been like drawing and painting while I was like doing acid at the time, because I would do a lot of acid in high school. I even like sold it and stuff. And so they loved my work, and they were like, okay, you're one of 15 students accepted of like the hundreds that applied.
Do you have any of those?
I have some of them.
I'd love to see them. Your acid era.
Yeah, but the ones that got me into the program I don't have. I think they might have kept them or something. And then I started painting there, and then drag came around sometime after, and I put everything, my potion making, my drawing, my painting, all in like the back burner, and I was like, I'm focusing on drag. And my first year was like dedicated to like learning how to do makeup. My second year was like focused on sewing, and then my third was me being like, I need to get on stage now and start performing. And then after trying to like secure that, I started emceeing and stuff, and
Yeah.
so I completely forgot about painting
And
until
now that's coming back to the forefront.
yeah, it's back, and I love it. I mean, I feel bad that it's like acrylic and like plastic, but it's all I know. So
Have you ever thought about
killing myself.
doing it?
Yes,
Have you ever thought about
I am my
performance
father's
art?
I am performance art, girl.
I know, but like doing a different type of.
I feel like no, because the word performance art to me is low-key tacky. I don't know why. It does something to me. And there's a lot of really good performance artists that I do respect, like Narcissister, I think is amazing. There's a lot of people that I do admire in that realm, but I think it can very quickly become like, what can I do to like make people feel something? Well, like it doesn't even mean anything. Nothing even means anything.
But I mean, you did put that into your drag too. Like, oh, you were telling me about the pimple popper thing you did?
Yes, that was an iconic moment.
Yeah, she took bubble wrap and filled it with like lotion and was like squeezing out on stage.
Squeezing it out of my pores.
You peed into a bottle during Willow Pill's show one of the 2 times I saw you perform.
But a lot of that is also because I was trying to keep the authenticity of Brooklyn drag alive when I was coming into the scene, because I was surrounded by girls that like the older generation, like the class before me, that I wanted to learn from, right? And that I respected and admired. And I feel like I might have been one of the only girls, I think this is why I stood out, one of the only girls that was accurately like paying homage to them and like keeping that alive, like the filthy like aspect of drag, you know, and like how nasty it can get. And I love that, because I actually am like not a clean freak, but like a little bit of a hypochondriac.
Are you?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Hypochondriac, yes, but not a
clean freak. No. But a hypochondriac, yes.
Yes.
So all of my stunts like were done in like a clean way. Like I would never work with like food.
Girl, we just watched you eating pickles on stage.
Oh yeah.
Bushwig last night.
At Bushwig, that's different though. You don't feel that?
I mean, at least it's one piece. It's not like you're eating.
When I think about Brooklyn and food, I think about like one of my friends. I can't remember if it was Lucy Balls or Amber Alert. It was one of them. Who they did that song "Kiss Me Under the Moon," and so they did that, and they had a can of sardines that they were eating. No. They had a jar of mayo that they were eating. Oh. They had an onion that they started biting into, and then they started walking around and kissing people. And so when I think about food, that's what comes to mind for me. It's not opening a jar of pickles and eating pickles, right?
Yeah, that's too many food groups. And you know I hate that.
That's the whole pyramid.
Yeah.
But yeah, performance art, like in a serious way, like no, but I can always, like get an urge or an idea to be like, I'm gonna do this thing. because I feel like doing it. And luckily for me, I have access to get on any stage that I want. I just have to ask.
Yeah. So I think we're like nearing the end of the interview, but I did want to kind of bring it back to this whole series of yours, Manic Episodes. How would you describe it to people that are just tuning in? Like, what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
A lot of it is nonsense and nonsensical. A lot of it is... I just want people... I want people that come on the show to just, like, feel free to just exist. There's so little spaces for us to just be, right? Like, we're always, like, selling ourselves or, like, trying to be palatable. So in the way that, like, I'm trying to rework my relationship with New York, I want people that come on here to see, like, okay, Chiqui's a little crazy, and I think this is an okay place for me to let my ass hang out, too. Because, yeah, I mean, we're history. We're queer history. We're the generation after HIV and AIDS, and I want to accurately portray really cool queer people that aren't worried about getting on a television show or what people are going to think about them, because when have we ever cared about that? And, like, why do we suddenly care so much about the way that we're perceived? So I don't know, I just want this to be, like, authentic queer psychos that I know and love, and just having people see them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have, like, a huge goal with this.
Yeah.
I just want people to feel like, oh, celebrities can be cool again. Not that I'm a celebrity, but maybe one day, like, when I die, you know I'm like my dad.
You are
I'm just like my dad. My dad was always talking about killing himself.
very morbid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the show. That's Manic Episodes. And some episodes might be a little more put together than others. Like, this, I would say, was a very well put together episode, but the ones that are going to follow this are not. And it might be because we're sober.
But your reward is the joint that's at the other end of the rainbow.
I'm so fucking excited. I'm so fucking excited, and I was so focused, and I did such a good job on this episode, on my interview.
All right, anything else?
Keep watching. Keep watching or don't. Stay tuned or don't.
It's iterative. We're figuring it out as we go.
We're figuring it out as we go, and I love that because it feels true to the show and the program. My phone going off also feels true to the program. Yeah, I just did. Okay. I love giving people anxiety too, right? Like, I want the listeners to feel a little anxious because you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And I like that.
And that's just kind of every day, all day, basically.
Yeah, I don't want to worry about being palatable, you know? Yeah. And, like, I already am famous, so I might as well just be a mess. When you think about, like, famous people in the past, too, like, before, you know, we had, like, a hyper lens on, like, how we look and how we're being perceived, right? Like, they were so much more cool.
Oh, totally.
Right? And so I'm trying to, like, tear that down.
And you're kind of also putting it into action with what we said before about, like, going out and just feeling more free and liberated to take up space.
Yeah.
That's the journey that I went on the past few years as well, and it's just really liberating.
Yeah, you definitely take up a lot of space. And without further ado, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on my show, Amorosa. Is there anything else you want to say to your favorite bitch?
Yeah, just excited to keep doing what we're doing.
Do you want to do another episode?
What do you mean?
At some point.
Sure, we can talk.
We'll see what the feedback is, because I don't know if people are going to like you. And... Okay. Yay!